Good morning, everybody. My name is Katelyn Costello, and I am the YA author of the Ritual Saga and soon to be published Until All the Stars Are Found. I do want to say right off the bat, I apologize for how my voice sounds. I've been sick the last few days. If you hear noises, that is my cat right off screen. I wanted to film this video and I need to film it, but there's some things in the background you might hear that I might not be able to edit out depending on how things are going. I want to preface this video by saying that I'm not blaming anybody. 2020 is very much out of our control in many ways, so please don't bash anybody for this. I understand a lot of people are under a lot of pressure, and what I'm going to explain is just what needs to happen as a result of 2020. So as I said, my newest book, Until All the Stars Are Found, is set to be published on March 6th, 2021. Now, I do want to preface this and say that the ebook will not be affected. Again, if you have ordered an ebook of Until All the Stars Are Found, you will not be affected in any way. Unfortunately, the hardback publication date will have to be pushed back. I'm filming this on Sunday, December 21st. Unless something changes in the next few days, I'm going to have to push back the hardcover release, and I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability in the most tangible way for someone that isn't a part of the publishing industry to understand. After this video is published, I am going to put a sticker in my stories on Instagram, or you can reply in the comments or whatever, and I will try to explain it best I can if something is not being understood. I do want to say, if you did order a hardback, I want to thank you so much for doing so. You will get your product. It will just be a few weeks late. And I am very much a one publication a year kind of person, and I spend a lot of time planning it out, but 2020 makes things very difficult. So I'm going to give you an overview of what my original timeline was with some timestamps to try to help you understand the process and why the hardback is going to have to be delayed. Now, I'm trying to do this to be as transparent as possible. I really appreciate my readers, and I want you all to understand that I strive to make the best product possible based on the knowledge set I have at that time. I know there's going to be some issues. I know there's going to be some typos in my books. I know there's some in the rituals. I'm working on that in 2021, but I do the best I can with the knowledge I have at that time. So I got my little paper here. When I set the pre-order for Until All the Stars Are Found, I actually had less time than what you saw. So you see that there is 99 days until the launch of Until All the Stars Are Found when it started on November 27th. I actually only had 85 days. Standard operating procedure is for most platforms that indie authors use to publish books, final files need to be uploaded at least 10 days in advance. I like to do it up to 2 weeks in advance because some printers will start printing and shipping books out 10 days prior so that they will arrive to your doorstep in time. So when Until All the Stars Are Found went available for pre-order on November 27th, I had 85 days until publication. On December 1st, I sent my file off to my editor to be copy edited, and copy editing is the nitty-gritty grammar and typos and all of that stuff that I personally know I am not good at. So we scheduled a little over a month for her to work on these files and to get them going. And again, nothing against anybody upcoming in this. On November 18th, going back a little bit, I ordered the proof copy of Until All the Stars Are Found so that I could finalize and see in book the final cover and the formatting, because I did notice when I uploaded some files there were some things that shifted and changed that I knew I was going to need to edit. So I want to see it in a physical form to finalize any internal edits, as well as if my cover designer and I need to make any changes. Now, one of the exciting things about this book, which does make it a little bit more complicated, is for the hardback, when you remove the dust jacket, there is an additional image. It is different, and I'm not sharing that for anybody to see until you buy the book. So that file nobody has seen except in a digital format between my cover designer and I. We need to finalize that and make sure it's good. Generally, it takes about 2-ish weeks for those proofs to get to me, but with the Christmas holiday, I added a little bit more time, so I wasn't expecting to receive it until December 7th through the 12th. Give it a little wiggle room. We'll come back to my deadline for myself for getting those internal edits noted and speaking with my cover designer about anything that needed to be changed was December 18th, just a couple days. And that would give me 64 days until I needed to submit those final files and for her to get those cover files to me. So we had 64 days from that date to make those changes. On January 5th, my copy edits were supposed to be returned to me, and I would have 46 days until publication to go through those edits and go through the next step. Those next steps would be I would have to go through all of those edits that she would make. It's a very large book. It's over 500 pages. It was going to take me some time. So I blocked off 17 days to do just that initial edit and get those edits in place. And then I was going to send it to my proofreaders. I do have about 3 proofreaders lined up to go through and see if there's anything that my editor that I missed, that they missed. And this also gives me, it was about, I sent it to them and I would have 29 days left. So it would give me a little bit of a break to step back from the book and then come back into it with fresh eyes to do edits. I am definitely the kind of person that needs to take a break between edits. Otherwise I get too close to the story and I miss things. This is something I know about myself, and it's something that I plan into my process to make sure that I can do it to the best of my ability. I originally planned on getting those proof notes back on February 5th, roughly, which would give those people about 2 weeks to get it back to me. I would then have from the 5th to the 13th to make any of those changes and then do any of those final formatting changes if they were needed, and upload the final files to the printing company and also to NetGalley. I really wanted to do NetGalley this time around. And that would give me 21 days until publication and 7 days until I needed to have those final files uploaded. So I would have at least a week to do any changes should I need that extra buffer. And then because it would take a few days for the company to process those files, I would order author copies on 2/17, which would give 17 days for printing and shipping to arrive to me. And again, it was 7 days before those final files had to be up. And then I would have about a week until publication where I wouldn't have anything to do except market, which is ideal. Now we're gonna go through what is currently happening. So again, this is my original timeline and my original plan. Some sections are a little bit tight, but there was still that wiggle room. Things I did not account for. The shipping gridlock we are currently in. Issues with my printing company. They do let you know that around holiday shipping that things will take longer. Fine, that's why I ordered in November and I wasn't expecting it for like 3 weeks. Remember when I said that my deadline for formatting was December 18th? I still don't have that proof, so I haven't looked at it. I can't make any of those changes because I don't have the book to do that, so I can't finalize that. I did look on the website and I have filed claims. The issue currently is that the book was shipped in a way that said that UPS would ship it, and then when it got closer to my home, USPS would take it up and do the final delivery. The current issue right now is it's been sitting somewhere in my city since December 8th. UPS says they gave it to the post office. The post office says they don't have it. It's something a lot of people are going through, and the USPS and all major shipping companies are extremely overwhelmed right now and in a gridlock. This is a picture that I've seen recently to show like the amount of packages people are receiving. I posted in a local group to see if other people were going through it, and someone said that they work in a postal service office and they have machines that can't do more than 10,000 packages an hour, and so they have 2 of those machines, and doing 20,000 packages an hour still isn't enough, and there's multiple freight trucks waiting outside with packages. So there's nothing I can do about that. I did look up how long it would take to order a new book, and currently the printing time, not including shipping, which right now is the main issue, it would take 30 days to print, which would put me at January 18th to do those edits, which, going back to before, I wanted to be done with my first round copy edits by that point. So with that knowledge, that right now it's currently taking 30 days to print, and I don't know what shipping is going to look like in the next few months. I have to assume, if we are in a gridlock that bad that the entire country is having slowdown of shipping to this extent, even with the Christmas holiday, things are still going to be gridlocked after next week. So I have to assume that shipping is going to take a long time, which means I need to move up my final deadline. Remember how I said my final deadline, it had to be at least 10 days prior? Well, now I need to have the files at least a month prior to give time for printing. So instead of that 220, now make that 26. Just that in itself, like, painful. I did get a message from my editor last week, the week before, that Until the Stars Are Found is taking a little bit longer to edit, and she's going to need a little bit more time to make it be what it should be, which, again, not blaming her, that's totally fine. I know I have issues with editing and I want it to be the best that it can. So I said, of course, take the extra time. So I'm not going to be getting the first edits until at least 112. You see why? You see why things are getting delayed. So with that adjustment of I'm not getting the first edits until 112, if I wanted to stay with the March 6th publication date for the hardcover, I would need to get my first round of edits done by 1/8 versus 1/22. So an extra 4 days early. 4 days earlier, but also taking away 7 days. So about 11 days different. I would need to finish on the 18th and immediately send it out to my proofreaders, and I'm not going to make them break their backs to read my book. So I would need to have the notes back by 128 and fulfill any formatting stuff. Hope that I have the book by then, if I ordered a new one today, to get it done by 128, do any formatting and any proof changes. I would have until 2/3 to make those changes and upload the files, and that would give me 5 days until that date of new publication. And because it does take a few days for it to process, I can't assume it's going to happen automatically. I would have to order copies on 2/8 and pray that they would be here in time for you to receive them. And again, I don't know how long it's going to take to print or ship come end of January. So that is the current timeline I would have to do in order to make this work. On top of that, my day job, which normally I would have a project that would be going on right now. I'd be doing contracts and things for my job, and that takes a lot longer. I take some longer hours to make sure that everything is correct in that capacity. I've been told that it's being shifted sometime in the first quarter. I don't know when I will be moving forward with that project, but it's sometime during that time frame of needing to get all of that done. And that project does make me have to work longer hours and cut into my writing time. So again, I want to create the best product for you I can. And I personally don't think I can produce a good quality product for the price you're paying that I can ensure doesn't have any typos or doesn't have any weird formatting issues or anything like that, given the timeline that I have. I believe my 85-day timeline was cut to 47 days with all of the issues that came up. So it was cut in half. There's nothing I can do. Again, the ebook will not be affected in any way, shape, or form. The ebooks are much easier to finalize. Once those copy edits are done and things, it takes 3 to 7 days for them to process and send that out to all the stores digitally. It's much easier, which is why a lot of times you see authors only having digital product. So if you have pre-ordered the hardback, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And don't let this dissuade you from ordering a hardback. That's one thing that I'm afraid of, is this whole thing is going to make people not want to order the book. I'm still going forward with the book. It is still coming out. I am just looking at more of an April to early May timeframe for the hardback to be safe. If you have ordered a hardback, I do have contact information for most of you that have ordered it directly through me. But if you have ordered it, for example, from Barnes & Noble or another site, please send me an email with a confirmation receipt of your purchase and an email that I can contact you with. And I am going to give everybody that has pre-ordered a free copy of the ebook on 3/6/2021, so that you paid for a product. You will be getting a product on March 6th. It just won't be the hardback that you wanted. And I am also considering doing some sort of swag bag, bookmarks, or annotated chapters, that sort of thing, as a way to say thank you and also I'm sorry. Again, 2020 has just been a learning curve for everybody. I don't think anybody could really plan for this in particular. I have reached out to the printing company, but based on the level of shipping that I used at the time, unfortunately they will not reimburse me. There's several levels of shipping, and the one shipping that I use, which I have used for proofs every time up until this point, I've never had an issue with it. Again, 2020. You don't get insurance on it. And I used that because currently, because it is the holiday season, the first available shipping code where I would get that was $15 for one book. And you can see why, as a business person, when for me, when I print a book, it is $13. So for shipping of the book to be $15. And the reason the price difference between the $13 and the $25 is because of a profit margin for shipping and things like that for me as a business, as well as when a company, for example, if a bookstore orders a book, they get a cut of every sale and the printing company gets a cut of every sale. So in order for me to make money, it needs to be marked up. Yes, I have looked at different printing companies. Yes, I have looked into filing a claim. I filed a claim through the Postal Service. I have attempted to file a claim through UPS, but because they say they gave the book to the Postal Service, they won't let me file a claim. It's a big hot mess that I've been dealing with behind the scenes, and I'm doing the best that I can. So I just ask for your patience and understanding. I am going to make some sort of announcement at a later time when I determine the best date for the hardcover reveal. Again, it will not be past May. I do want to get it into your hands as quickly as possible, but I want to make sure it is the best product it can be. Can I offer you a cat? Please understand that I am sad. Okay. Yeah. That's the situation we're in. Like, I wish there was a way I could make it better, but I really don't know what else to do right now aside from move that date back. And I could be super wrong. We could get into January and all of this could go away. However, I'm not trusting that. So as a business, this is the decision that I have to make. I know I'm going to take hits for it. I'm sure some people are going to be upset about that. And again, I'm very sorry. I have gone through every possible thing I can think of, and for the sanity of myself and for the people that I hire to help me and that volunteer to help me, it would be very inconsiderate to attempt to go through with the second timeline. It would. I wouldn't want to put the people through that. That's just a lot, and it's a lot of stress to hope that a product is going to be here in time when I don't know if it would be, and it would be rude of me to assume that it would be here in time and to ship to you and pray that it gets to you when it's supposed to. So I'm covering my butt. The ebook will be on time, the hardback will not. I hope this makes sense. If you were someone that ordered the hardback, please send me an email or a DM, like however you want to contact me. I would prefer an email just so I can make a list of everybody at scriptprint101@gmail.com, the email right here on my chest, to get the information on how we're going to do the ebook. I do have the process all set up for in March, so I'll just add you to that list of individuals that have ordered an ebook. Again, I am not entirely sure what will happen if you have ordered from, for example, Barnes & Noble. I believe they should send you an email saying that the date has been moved, but I'm not 100% sure. This is new. I'm going to be putting this video on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and I'm going to be putting out blog posts and things. So if you know somebody that has ordered the book, please, please, please share this with everybody so it gets out. I'm trying to reach people in the best way that I can, and right now that's just blasting into the ether. Thank you for listening. This has been really long. I hope I explained it well. Editing Katelyn will tell me if it made any sense, but I love you all. I thank you for all of your support and your patience in this time of 2020. I'm wishing you a happy holidays this coming week and hopefully a happy new year. Yeah, I love you all, and I'll see you soon.